Hello and welcome. My name is Kate. Today we have Melly here joining us as my student. This is going to be a level 2 Vinyasa class, and for class today you'll need 1 blanket and 2 blocks. So make sure to grab those and then find a comfortable seat on your mat. Close your eyes. Take a full breath in through your nose. Exhale and sigh out your mouth. 2 more just like that. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth, exhale. Good. 1 more breath in through your nose. Exhale and sigh it out your mouth. And now let yourself arrive fully present in this moment, connecting to your breath. Take the time to draw inwards and check in with how you're feeling right now. How do you feel physically, energetically? Notice the state of your mind. And if there are any thoughts kind of swirling around in the mind, take a moment now to give them your full attention. Acknowledge them. And then make the conscious choice to set those thoughts aside for the next hour or so as we move into this practice. And know that anything that still needs your attention will be there waiting for you at the end. On your next inhale, take your palms to touch in prayer right at the center of your chest. Bow your head gently down towards your heart. Set an intention for your practice today, whatever is calling to you. Let this practice serve that purpose. And I'll invite you to join me in a single sound of Om. Take a full deep breath in. Om. Let your hands once again rest on your thighs. Crack open your eyes. Okay. So we're going to start today in this shoulder opening stretch. You'll need your 2 blocks. I'm going to ask you to step aside for 1 moment so I can set this up. So you'll take your 2 blocks on their medium setting, if that feels okay for you, and almost like little train tracks, you're going to line them up here. You'll set up on all 4s with your knees underneath your hips and take your elbows right to the center of your blocks with your hands in prayer. Now from here, I'm going to scoot myself back just a moment so I can start to release my chest and my head down towards the mat and then work the prayer behind the heart. This can be super intense this early in the practice as a shoulder opener. So if you get here and this feels like not a great fit at the moment, to lessen the intensity a little, you can bring your legs towards more of a child's pose shape, sending your hips closer to your heels, and that will help to decrease the amount of opening that's happening in the shoulders to start. But otherwise, you can give it a shot, kind of this like modified puppy pose type stretch. So let's get that set up. So start yourself on all 4s, knees underneath your hips, and then take your elbows right to the center of your blocks, palms in prayer. Release your chest and head down towards your mat and work the prayer behind your heart. Nice, Melly. Allow this to open from your hips all the way up through your side ribs and towards your elbows. Continue to breathe the whole time. Allow your inhale to expand your ribs out from left to right. And as you exhale, feel your low belly pull in and up so that you're supporting the opening in the chest with a lift from underneath through the abdomen. Take 1 more full breath in and 1 more full breath out. Now move slowly. Take the prayer back out in front of you. Start to lift up, set your blocks aside, and just find a child's pose for a moment. And let the shoulders rebound there from all that opening. Good. And then shift yourself forward to all 4s. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back to a downward facing dog. When you arrive in down dog, take a few breaths to pedal out your feet, maybe a little wiggle of the hips side to side. Create some space in the body anywhere that you feel you need it. And then eventually find some stillness and just be here in your downward facing dog. On your inhale, stretch your right leg all the way up behind you. As you exhale, step your foot forward between your thumbs, tap your back knee down onto the floor. Take both of your hands onto your front thigh and lift your chest all the way up. Reach your fingertips up over your head, turn your pinkies to face in towards each other, and feel a big lift from your hips all the way up through your pinky fingers. From your tailbone down and forwards, you bring an opening across your left hip flexor. Keep the legs as they are. Take your arms out to a T. Turn your palms to face behind you. Clasp your fingertips together behind your back. And now stretch your knuckles towards your back heel. Look towards the ceiling and lift your chest. Let the bottom tips of your shoulder blades firm down to help you open up through the collarbones fully. One more breath in. Full breath out. Release your hands. Bring them inside of your front foot. Lift your back leg, parallel your feet to the left, lengthen your spine as you breathe in, and then fold forward out over 2 straight legs as you breathe out. Prasarita Padottanasana. You can always grab for your blocks if you need them. Press into the outer edges of your feet so that the inner arches lift up and you firm up through your legs. Good. Take another full breath in and a full breath out. Lengthen your spine. Walk to a low lunge at the front of your mat. Take your hands onto your blocks at the highest setting. Hop your back foot in about 2 inches. You can keep your heel lifted and now straighten your front leg. So we're going to take this early pyramid pose, but I want you to set this up so that our hips are really in the right alignment. So take your right hand, bring your thumb to the crease of your right hip, and then pull your right hip back nice melly so that that brings both hip bones nice and even. And now release your right hand back to your block. Fold forward out over your right leg. So in pyramid pose, it actually sometimes feels like there's like a slight twist towards your front leg, and that's the inner thighs hugging towards each other to really compact everything in towards center. Take one more inhale and full exhale. Rebend your front knee, set your blocks aside, step your way back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward for a plank pose. Tap your knees to the floor, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to your belly. We'll take cobra pose. You can widen out your hands a bit if that feels better for you this early on in class. Start to press into the tips of your fingers, lift your chest up off of your mat. And then if it's okay, plant your palms down, let the creases of your elbows wrap forward. Let your shoulders slide down your back away from your ears. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Lay your heart forward and down. Press yourself up to all fours and back to downward facing dog. Stretch your left leg up behind you. Step your foot forward between your thumbs. Tap your back knee down. Bring both of your hands onto your front thigh. Lift your chest up. Take your arms out, reach them all the way up over your head. Let your pinky fingers turn in to face each other. Get really long from your hips all the way up through the tip of your pinky finger. From your tailbone down and forward to bring a stretch across your right hip flexor. Keep your legs as they are. Take your arms to a T. Turn your palms to face behind you. Clasp the opposite thumb on top behind your back. So it's probably the one that feels a little weird. And then stretch your knuckles towards your back heel. Let the tips of your shoulder blades firm down your back and use that to lift and open up your collarbones as you look towards the ceiling. Good. Breathe into the space behind your heart. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Release your hands down inside of your front foot. Lift your back leg. Parallel your feet to the right. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. Fold forward out over straight, wide legs as you breathe out. Prasarita Padottanasana. This time around, I want you to bring your attention to your quadriceps. Can you lift your kneecaps up so your quadriceps firm towards your hips, and then use the firming of the front of the legs to help open the backs of the legs even further. Nice melly. Take another inhale. And full exhale. Lengthen out your spine as you breathe in. Walk to a low lunge at the front of your mat. Bring your hands onto your blocks at the highest setting. Hop your back foot in 2 inches. Straighten out your left leg, and then same thing, let's set those hips up the right way. So hook your thumb into the crease of your left hip and then pull your outer left hip back so your outer right hip comes forward, nice Melly. And then bring your hand back to your block. Lengthen your spine, and then fold forward out over your left leg for an early pyramid pose. Breathe from your left hip all the way down through your left heel, and really feel how your inner thighs are hugging in towards center and towards each other. Nice, one more breath in. And full breath out. Rebend your left knee, set your blocks aside, step your way back, downward facing dog. Come forward for plank pose as you breathe in. Either knees tap or one straight line, lower all the way down to your belly. Cobra pose, press into the palms of your hands, lift your chest up. Slide your shoulders down your back away from your ears and let the hugging of your shoulder blades help to lift your chest even higher. Good. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, lay your heart forward and down. Lift yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Come to Uttanasana, forward fold at the front of your mat. On your inhale, reach your arms all the way out and up for Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe in. Dive forward and down, Uttanasana, as you breathe out. Step your right foot back as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Come forward, plank pose on your breath in. If you're ready, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg up behind you, breathe in. Step your foot forward between your thumbs on your breath out. Inhale, look forward, step forward, fold down on your exhale. Reach your arms all the way out and up, Urdhva Hastasana, lift your chest. Dive forward and down, Uttanasana. Step your left foot back as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Come forward, plank pose on your breath in. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Stretch your left leg up behind you, inhale. Step your foot between your thumbs on your exhale. Breathe in, look forward, step forward, fold down as you breathe out. Take your arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana, lift. Dive out and down, Uttanasana. Step your right foot back as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Come forward, plank pose on your breath in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg up behind you, breathe in. Step your foot between your thumbs on your breath out. Inhale, heart forward, step forward, fold down as you exhale. Arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana, breathe in. Forward bend, Uttanasana as you breathe out. Step your left foot back as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Plank pose, come forward, breathe in. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Stretch your left leg up behind you, breathe in. Step your foot between your thumbs on your breath out. Inhale, heart forward, step forward, fold down as you exhale. Arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Big breath in. Dive forward and down, Uttanasana as you breathe out. Step your right foot back as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Plank pose, come forward, breathe in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, inhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana, exhale. Pause here now. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Now walk your feet forward and together an inch. On your inhale, bend your knees, either hop or step to the front of your mat. Fold forward out over straight legs as you exhale. Arms come out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Full deep breath in. Dive forward and down, Uttanasana as you breathe out. Step your left foot back as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Plank pose, come forward, breathe in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, inhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana, exhale. Pause here. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. And walk your feet forward and together an inch. Inhale, bend your knees, hop or step to the front of your mat. Fold forward out over straight legs. Take your arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Lift your chest. Dive forward and down, Uttanasana. Okay, Okay, this time come halfway up, lengthen out your spine to prepare. We're gonna hop to downward facing dog. So plant your palms, go up and back, nice Melly. Bent knees as you land. Forward to plank pose on your breath in. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Stretch your right leg up behind you, breathe in. Step your foot forward between your thumbs, parallel your feet to the left. Keep your spine long, bring your hands to your hips, lift all the way up to stand. Good. Take your arms up over your head, big breath in. Now keep lifting through the sides of your chest. Arms are gonna stay overhead for the moment, but turn your right toes and leg forward. Bend your right knee now over your ankle. Arms come out to a T for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, nice Melly. So front knee stacks over your front ankle. Outer edge of your back foot lines up parallel to the back of your mat, and chest is gonna stay lifted. Now flip your right palm to the ceiling. Tip back for a peaceful warrior on your breath in. Straighten out your right leg. Triangle pose. Reach your right arm all the way forward. Take your hand to your shin or your ankle, and left arm reaches up to the ceiling. So you want to feel like you're kind of stuck between two panes of glass, and your right shoulder is right in line with your right ankle, right? Firm your tailbone towards your back heel. Let that lift your low belly in and up. Take another full breath in. Reach your top arm over your head. Look down, hands down, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Now you can pause between sides, or if you'd like, come forward, plank pose on your breath in. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Stretch your left leg up behind you, breathe in. Step your foot forward between your thumbs, parallel your feet to the right. Bring your hands to your hips, lift all the way up to stand. Take your arms out and up over your head, stay long, all the way up, yeah, that's okay. Through the sides of your body, breathe in. Now turn your whole left leg and left toes forward, bend your left knee over your ankle. Now arms come out to a T, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, nice Melly. Same thing on this side, front knee over ankle, outer edge of the back foot parallel to the back of your mat. Now flip your left palm, tip back, peaceful warrior as you breathe in. Straighten out your left leg, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take your left hand to your shin or ankle, right arm all the way up. And then try to fit yourself again between like those two panes of glass, right? So left shoulder is right on top of your left leg. Your tailbone lengthens to your back heel, and then you use that to create space in the spine. Take another full breath in. On your breath out, top arm comes over your head. Look down, hands down, downward facing dog. Pause and breathe, or if you'd like, plank pose on your inhale. Chaturanga as you exhale. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Okay, we're gonna build on that. Starts the same. Reach your right leg up behind you, inhale. Step your foot forward between your thumbs. Parallel your feet to the left. Hands to hips, lift all the way up to stand. Take your arms up over your head, breathe in. Turn your front leg, bend your knee, Warrior 2, arms out to a T as you breathe out. Flip your right palm as you inhale, tip back, peaceful warrior. Straighten out your front leg, triangle pose as you exhale. Right hand down, left arm up. Good. Now on your breath in, I want you to bring your left hand to your hip. You're gonna keep your chest open. We're gonna take this to half moon pose, but just your eyes look forward of your front foot, bend your front knee, shift up and over your front leg, hand to your block or to the floor, back leg lifts off of your mat. And now, once your chest is fully opened, then take your right hand back up towards the ceiling, nice Melly. Think 2 straight legs, right? Press through the big toe mound of your lifted foot. Can you use your lifted leg just as much as your standing leg? Got this. One more breath in. On your breath out, top arm over your head. Look down, nice and easy. Step to a low lunge, land your back foot, take a twist. Right hand to the ceiling, turn your chest. I'm going to turn this into a side plank. You can move through plank poses if you'd like, or don't overthink it. Outer edge of your left foot, yeah, Melly, stack your right foot on top. Bump that bottom hip up, zip those inner thighs together. One more inhale, downward facing dog as you exhale. Beautiful. Let's go right to the other side. Reach your left leg up behind you. Breathe in. Step your foot forward between your thumbs. Parallel your feet to the right. Hands to hips. Lift up to stand. Inhale. Take your arms up over your head. Turn your left toes. Bend your left knee. Warrior 2 as you exhale. Flip your left palm. Peaceful warrior. Breathe in. Straighten out your left leg. triangle pose as you breathe out. Take your left hand down, right arm up. On your breath in, take your right hand to your hip. Now keep your chest open, just your eyes. Look forward of your front foot. Bend your left knee, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Nice, Melly, up and over that left leg. And then once your chest is open to the side, right arm can reach back up towards the ceiling. And then think 2 straight legs. Can you press through the big toe mound of your lifted leg and use it just as much as the standing one? Good, one more inhale. On your exhale, top arm over your head, look down, step to a low lunge, take a twist. Left hand to the ceiling, turn your chest. Now don't overthink this. Come to the outer edge of your right foot, side plank, Vashisthasana. Stack your left foot on top. Bump that bottom hip up, lengthen your tailbone to your heels, zip up through the low belly. Good, one more breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Pause and breathe, or if you'd like, plank pose on your inhale, come forward. Chaturanga as you exhale. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Okay, little different this time. Reach your right leg up behind you, breathe in. Step your foot between your thumbs. We're gonna come right to half moon pose. So shift up and over your right leg, hands to your blocker to the floor, and then turn and open up your chest to the left. Nice, Melly. Now you have a choice. You can stay here in half moon, or bend your left knee, take your heel towards your left hip, turn your top hand to face behind you, and then grab hold of your foot or your ankle for Ardha Chapasana. And then let that left shoulder blade slide down your back so that you can open up your chest. Nice, one more breath in. Sense of humor always helps here. And one more breath out. If you still have hold of your foot, nice and easy, reach it all the way back. Take your top arm up, bring it over your head, look down, step to a low lunge. Okay, now stay with me. We're gonna reset here. 3-legged dog. Take your right leg up and back, breathe in. Step your foot back between your thumbs and set up here for warrior one. So your back foot's gonna spiral 45 degrees. Take your arms forward and up. So in warrior one now, we're working to get our hip bones to face towards the front of the mat. And then just like Melly's doing here, you're lifting through the sides of your chest to get your arms over your head. Good. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Now take your hands to your hips, straighten out your front leg. You're gonna take full Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. You have 2 options here. So option 1, you'll take opposite elbows, bring your hands behind your back. If it's available today, option 2, you're gonna take reverse prayer, reverse namaskar. So you'll slide those pinky fingers in between your shoulder blades and then let your upper arms roll back to help lift your chest up. Now everybody, take an inhale, look towards the ceiling. As you exhale, fold forward out over your straight front leg. And remember that outer right hip pulls back, nice Melly, outer left hip wraps forward. You can always lose the arms and bring them down to the floor if needed, right? We don't have to keep it. But otherwise, feel your chest opening as you move into the forward fold here. One more inhale. Full exhale. Release your hands down to frame your front foot. Come to a 3-legged dog. Reach your right leg up and back. Open up your hip, bend your knee. Option here, you can stay and breathe, or rock star pose. You'll land your right foot to the outside of your mat, press your hips up, reach your top arm over your head. Beautiful, Melly, or wild thing, sometimes it's called, right? Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Okay, right to the other side. Reach your left leg up behind you. Breathe in. Step your foot between your thumbs, right to half moon pose. Up and over your left leg, hands to your blocker to the floor. Reach your right leg up, reach your right arm up. Choose to stay here and breathe, or bend your right knee, bring your heel towards your hip. Turn your right palm, grab hold of your foot or your ankle, and then firm that right shoulder blade down your back to open up your chest and open up through your front quadricep. Good. Nice, Melly. Now, if you still have hold of your foot, don't let it fling back. Nice and easy, let go of the foot. Take your right arm back up, breathe in. Bring it over your head, look down, step to a low lunge. 3-legged dog, reset. Left leg comes up and back. Inhale. Step your foot back between your thumbs, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. So back foot comes 45 degrees. Outer right hip wraps forward, and then keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Yes, Melly, through your chest. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Now bring your hands to your hips, straighten out your front leg. Set up for that Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. So if you took opposite elbows, bring your other forearm on top. Otherwise, reverse namaskar, reverse prayer. So pinky fingers snuggle up in between your shoulder blades. Let those upper arm bones roll back. Keep your chest lifting. Breathe in. Go forward. Fold from the crease of your hip out over your front leg. Good. At any time, hands can always release to your blocks or to the floor. Keep lifting that left kneecap up to engage through your quadriceps. Good. One more inhale. And a full exhale. Release your hands down to the floor. Come to three-legged dog. Reach your left leg all the way up behind you. Open up your hip, bend your knee. Option to stay here and breathe, or rock star pose, wild thing. Land your left foot outside. Press your hips up. Open up through your chest. Full breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Okay. Walk your feet forward and together an inch. On your inhale, bend your knees, hop or step to the front of your mat, fold forward out over your straight legs. Pause here. And then bring your hands to your hips. Lift all the way up to stand. Hands by your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Okay, you're gonna root down through your right leg, come onto the ball of your left foot. Little bend into your right knee. We're gonna take eagle pose here. So your left knee is gonna cross over your right, and then your right arm is gonna come on top as you eagle wrap the arms. Today we're gonna stay lifted. So tip your fingertips towards the ceiling. Let your shoulder blades now spread apart from each other on the back of your body as you compact your hips in and let everything get really, really close to center. Good. Breathe into the upper back. Full breath in, nice Melly. Full breath out. Good, now stay with me here. Unwind, reach your arms up, take your left knee into your chest, inhale. Low lunge, nice and slow. Step your left foot all the way back, hands come down to frame your front foot. Three-legged dog, reach your right leg up behind you, breathe in, reset. Step your foot back between your thumbs. We're gonna set up again for warrior one, but I want your back foot as much as possible to really wrap forward. So that left toes point to the left corner of your mat. Good. Now bring your hands to your hips and straighten your front leg. Take your left arm back up to the ceiling, full breath in, and take revolved triangle pose. As you breathe out, reach your left arm forward, and then big twist. Turn your chest to the right, hand can come to your block, outside of your ankle if possible. Inside also works if that's not happening today. Right arm all the way up. And now feel your inner thighs really wrapping in towards center to hug towards each other. Left ribs under, nice Melly. Right ribs back and down. Everything hugs toward the midline of your mat. Take one more breath in. And full breath out. Nice and slow, unwind. Hands come inside of your right foot, parallel your feet to the left. Lengthen out your spine, breathe in. Fold forward out over your straight wide legs as you breathe out. You can let this be easy here, maybe even a little bend in the knee. Just come back to your breath. On your next inhale, lengthen your spine, walk to a low lunge in the front of your mat, step your way back to downward facing dog. Oops, sorry, Melly, tricked you. Inhale, come forward to a plank pose. Okay, now stay with me. We're gonna take this to a forearm plank. Bring your right forearm down, and then your left forearm down. Keep pressing your mat away with the forearms, and lower your hips now down to the floor so you're in a sphinx pose. Come on to the tops of your feet. Let your shoulders slide down your back away from your ears and feel those upper arm bones roll back as you continue to press your forearms down so that you're engaging a lot through your upper back muscles to open up the chest. Good, now look down. Elbows are gonna stay where they are. Clasp your fingertips together. Tuck your toes under. You're gonna lift your hips back to a forearm plank with clasped fingertips, and now dolphin pose. So send your hips up and back almost like down dog as you keep pressing your forearms down. Head is lifted right now, and then toes walk in towards your elbows. 2 more breaths here, you've got this. Feel your low belly tug in and up. Press your forearms down a lot to keep pressing the mat away. One more breath in. Full breath out. Good. Tap your knees to the floor. Bring the palms of your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Okay. Walk your feet forward and together an inch. On an inhale, bend your knees. Hop or step to the front of your mat. Fold forward out over your straight legs. Hands to hips. Lift all the way up to stand. Hands by your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Okay, other side. Bring your hands to your hips, come onto the ball of your right foot, root down through the left. And now lift your right knee into your chest, eagle pose. Right leg comes on top, left arm comes on top as you eagle wrap the arms. Fingertips left arm on top, good, Melly. And then feel those fingertips reach towards the ceiling today. So you spread your shoulder blades apart and then keep lifting your belly in and up as you hug your ribs towards your spine. Good. Outer hips hug in, everything compacts towards center. One more full breath in. One more full breath out. Now stay with me, unwind. Right knee lifts into your chest, arms reach over your head. Breathe in, nice and slow, low lunge. Hands frame your front foot, land your foot back. Three-legged dog, left leg up behind you, inhale. Step your foot back between your thumbs. Virabhadrasana 1. Back foot comes 45 degrees, reach your arms up. Really make sure those right toes are pointing to the right corner of your mat. That back foot will help to set up this revolved triangle. Okay, bring your hands to your hips, straighten out your left leg. Take your right arm back up to the ceiling. Full deep breath in, and now reach forward with your right hand, take a twist. Right ribs come under, left ribs back and down. Hand comes outside of your ankle to the block or maybe to the floor. Good. Keep pressing through your back foot. Feel your inner thighs hugging towards each other as you twist. Good. One more breath in. One more breath out. Unwind. Bring your hand inside of your left foot. Parallel your feet to the right. Lengthen out your spine as you breathe in. Fold yourself forward out over your legs as you breathe out. Come back to your breath. Big inhale. Full exhale. Then lengthen your spine on your next breath in. Walk to a low lunge at the front of your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Come forward for a plank pose on your inhale. Now other side. Bring your left forearm down first, then your right forearm down for this forearm plank. Keep pressing your mat away. Lower your hips down onto the mat. Come onto the tops of your feet for a Sphinx pose. Feel your shoulder blades slide down your back, but then press your mat away so they spread apart and you're fully engaged through the muscles of the upper back. Elbows stay where they are. Look down, clasp your fingertips together. Tuck your toes back under. Lift your hips back up to forearm plank, and then all the way up and back for a dolphin pose. Begin to walk your toes in towards your elbows as much as you can. Head is off of the mat here, so it's just your forearms firming down and lifting through the upper back and the side chest to keep you lifted. Good. You've got this. One more breath in. One more breath out. This time, tap your knees to the floor, child's pose. Hips to heels. 3 breaths. Feel your ribs expand from left to right as you inhale. Let everything release as you exhale. Good. On your next breath in, bring the palms of your hands underneath your shoulders and come up to a seated position. All right, how are we doing? Okay? We're good? Okay. So we're going to take a look today at Sirsasana A, which is headstand. And there's a few things that I want us to focus on. So oftentimes the tricky part of headstand, right, is finding the right engagement through the upper back muscles to really be able to support this inversion. So I want us all to do a little experiment now, because really what we want it to feel like is there's the action like a cobra pose of the shoulders coming away from the ears, but then also this action of like an eagle pose where we press the forearms down enough to spread the shoulder blades and fully engage through the back body. So just now, everyone, wherever you are seated in, Sukhasana, just take your forearms out in front of you like this. And I want you to shrug your shoulders towards your ears, right? So this is what we don't want to feel. Instead, when we think about headstand, we're going to take the shoulders down away from the ears like cobra, but now send your forearms forward so your shoulder blades spread apart like an eagle pose. So this feeling in the upper back that you have now is the same feeling that we're going to try to create when we look towards headstand on the mat, okay? All right, so now take a look back at whatever device you're watching this on. I'm gonna demo this first, and then Melly and those of you practicing at home will do this with us. I'm gonna set up here with my elbows below my shoulders. My hands will come to touch and clasp together here. The top of my head is gonna lower down and be held by the basket of my hands. Now you can see here, this is my shoulders shrug towards my ears, right? I'm gonna take them down away from my ears, and then the press of my forearms helps to spread my shoulders on top of my, spread my shoulders away from each other to engage the upper back. I tuck my toes, lift my hips, and then walk my toes in as close to my elbows as I can get them. I'm gonna lift one leg, and often what happens is that hip wants to come out to the side, but we worked on this a lot today. Inner thighs hug towards each other, so there's this scissoring motion. And then maybe you lift through the belly enough that that bottom foot can float and both legs lift overhead. Inner thighs hug towards each other, forearms pressing down, shoulders moving away from the ears the whole time. And then I lower down. You can choose to relax either in a child's pose, or I personally just prefer to sit, rock pose, and come back to the breath here. Okay? If you're new to practicing headstand, move your mat now towards a wall so that you have the support of that and don't risk toppling over. I'm gonna act as Melly's wall today for those purposes, or if it's in your practice, in the center of the room is totally fine too. Otherwise, let's do it. So set yourself up. If you're coming to the wall, you wanna be pretty close, probably no more than 6 inches away. And now wherever you are, you're gonna take your elbows directly below your shoulders, clasp your fingertips together, forearms down, and the top of the head comes right to the mat, and the backs of your hands are gonna hold the back of your head. Now right here, you can feel likely those shoulders start to shrug down towards your ears. Take them away from your ears, but then press your forearms down, yeah, Melly, and spread your shoulder blades apart. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, walk your toes in as much as you can towards your elbows, lift one leg, and now like that scissor motion, feel those inner thighs hugging towards each other, and maybe that bottom leg lifts as well. Good. If you're at the wall, you can use the wall to help show you how to firm your tailbone in, then feel those inner thighs hugging towards each other, legs lift. And then when you've had enough, you can always release nice and slow, one leg at a time, all the way back down. Child's pose, or you sit in a rock pose, and breathe. If you're still working, continue to work there. Otherwise, you'll take about 5 breaths at your own pace in kind of that rebound pose shape. Steadying your breath. Good. And then we'll all meet in the seated position. So come to sit. You'll find your blanket now. We're gonna come to lay down on our back. Your blanket likely will be like folded halfway if you have a yoga blanket. I want you to now fold it in half again, so you get a pretty good edge here. And this is gonna serve as a pillow for your head as you come to lay down onto your back. Take your blocks with you as well. I got them for you. And now once your head is on your blanket, I want you to reach back, grab the edges of your blanket, keep your head heavy, and just pull the blanket back 2 inches so that your chin lengthens towards your chest and you create some space in the back of your neck, right? So this is creating kind of that action after doing a headstand where you have some pressure on the cervical spine. This is gonna help to lengthen the cervical spine. Okay, keep your knees bent with your feet right underneath your knees. We're gonna keep the head as it is, but take a supported bridge pose here. So you'll reach for your block on either the low or medium setting, lift your hips up, and use your block to support your hips. Feel your chest move towards your chin. Let your breath begin to slow down. And then you can choose to stay here, Or if it feels okay for you, you can extend your legs out long in front of you and fully open up through the whole front of your body. If there's any twinging in the low back when you do this, rebend the knees and stay in that supported bridge shape. Close your eyes. And as you inhale, allow yourself to expand in all directions. Your belly, your ribs, your chest become full. And then as you exhale, feel yourself completely empty. Take one more full breath in and one more full breath out. If your legs are extended, rebend your knees, take your feet to the floor, and lift your hips up just enough to remove your block and set it aside. And then lower your hips down onto your mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat, let your knees knock into center. Just pause for a moment. And then begin to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And the next time your knees drop over to the left, keep them there, stack them, and take a twist for your spine. Breathe into your right side ribs. And then as you exhale, let your belly become soft. When you're ready, come back to center and drop your knees over to the other side. This time, left knee is on top. Breathe into your left side ribs. And let your belly soften. Good. Unwind back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug here. We'll take a happy baby pose. Hold on to the outer edges of your feet. Arms come inside of the knees. Guide your knees in towards your armpits and let your low back spread on your mat. Breathe into your hips. Breathe into the belly. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, extend your legs out long in front of you. Let your hands rest by your sides to set yourself up for Shavasana, final relaxation. Let your eyes close. And imagine that your inhale could enter through the crown of your head. And your exhale could release out the soles of your feet. So that you breathe from top to bottom and allow each breath to ground you and move you deeper and deeper into relaxation and true connection with yourself. As you inhale, I am breathing in. As you exhale, I am breathing out. In this moment, I am breathing in. In this moment, I am breathing out. Full inhales and full exhales. And just breathe. to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle out your wrists and your ankles. And when you're ready, roll to your right side. Bring your knees towards your chest. Pause. And then lift yourself all the way back up to a comfortable, easy seated position. Let your hands once again come to rest on your thighs. Inhale fully and exhale completely. Bring your palms to touch in prayer at the center of your chest. Bow your head down to your heart. Recall the intention you set at the start of your practice and thank yourself for taking the time to show up on your mat to honor that intention by joining your mind, your body, and your breath. And I want to thank you so very much for sharing your energy and your practice today. Love and light, and thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Melly, for being here. Thank you for practicing along with us, and I'll see you again soon.